So many people fall into the honeymoon phase trap when they're dating someone. And why is it a trap? Because it sets you up for a false sense of expectations for when you actually start to transition into a committed relationship. And when you get to that transition stage, and maybe not everything, but a lot of things change, and it's not so rainbows and gumdrops and like a dream experience anymore. And this is usually right around the time people start saying things like, oh, they were so awesome in the beginning, but then they switched up. Or they were putting so much effort in, now they stopped trying. Or things are so perfect, I don't know what happened. How did we get here from where we were in the beginning? Why can't we get back to that again? And all those kind of things. Then begins the uphill climb of trying to, recreate this special moment in time with you and that person that actually was the seed to you guys really starting to fall lustfully over each other, to where maybe even fell in love at some point to get to this committed relationship. And you don't have the same spark like you did in that beginning. And it starts to slowly build wear and tear into the relationship. So I want to tell you how to make sure the honeymoon phase doesn't wind up becoming a trap for you and ruining your relationship ultimately. The key is to make sure you build normacy, regularity throughout the honeymoon phase while it's happening. Meaning, you need to intentionally, while you're enjoying each other and things are all great and amazing and blissful and all those things, you want to try to, as intentionally as possible, create moments where you would operate this way if it wasn't so amazing, right? Try to kind of push into the equation your regular patterns of things and not just the way you're operating currently because of all that love motivation you have and all that excitement and all that, inspiration you're having from this new amazing person being in your life. Remember how you are without them in your life, how things were before them, how you operate as a norm, and enforce and impose boundaries into your dating dynamic that forces this experience to respect some of your normacy. And as far as you towards the person you're dating, intentionally seek out what their normacy is. Ask questions, have conversations around how they just operate or how they operated before you, how they tend to do things, right? How they did things before maybe you came into their life and inspired them to do something different, right? Because all the new things you guys are doing, the different things and all the fun, bubbly things and exciting things, those are awesome. Those are great. You should keep those. You should learn how to keep repeating those, make those a normal thing towards a relationship once you guys get there so it can be sustainable. But you want that sustainability to be built on top of what's already been sustained for each of you individually, and figure out how to bring those together to be more of a true norm, so that whenever the flare of the excitement of this person being this new person you're discovering and you learn all these new things about, once they stop being so new to you and you start learning them a little bit more and they start becoming okay, just like, all right, normal, and a heightened sense of things are kind of calming down to a more normal space, that you actually have something that still feels familiar because you've been continuing on how you operate and how they operate throughout the duration of this honeymoon phase. It's that piece not being there is what gets so many people caught up and really in a position where they start questioning whether this was the right decision once the honeymoon phase ends and they transition into regular life. They meet this person, they start dating, and then you look up and they're doing everything different than what they usually do. They're landed on thick with the amount of love, nurture, and affection and attention and the time they spend and all these grand gestures and all the stuff's going on in this experience, right? You're constantly going out on dates or traveling together, just enjoying each other, just full of vibrance. But none of the regular things are there. How you operate whenever you're not so on go on 100, right? And maybe you figure out how to stay on 100 with your partner. Maybe this dating, honeymoon phase lasts into the regular relationship. That'd be awesome. But it's usually not as likely. It's usually not the common thing that happens. If you can figure out how to do that, great. Live there. Live on 1,000. That's awesome. But make sure the foundation under that is understood as well. Because even if you're living on 1,000 and then life is awesome, you're going to have down days. You're going to have the off moment. You're going to have ups and downs in some capacity. And you both need to be aware as to what that norm looks like so that you expect it instead of being caught off guard by it. So you lay the groundwork of normalcy of what you were beforehand and what they were beforehand into your equation now with the newness. And I guarantee you set yourself up for a really great framework to roll out of that honeymoon phase into your regular, real life, everyday relationship phase and stage, I'll say. When you fail to set something up like this, you're playing Russian roulette with a really serious investment towards someone you plan to be with, and you're setting yourself up for potential heartbreak, right? And that whole painful downfall of things whenever stuff starts to calm down into more of the normal way it's going to be, and you start seeing that person through a different lens once it's not the way it was back in that amazing honeymoon stage. If you need help learning to build the right framework with someone you're dating that you really like and really want this to work out with, so you don't wind up losing some of those elements of that honeymoon phase and it can carry through and be sustainable, email or DM me the word coaching and we'll get to work as long as you're truly ready to put the work in. If you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, don't have the time or the space for it, email or DM me the word revival so you can join my Relationship Revival Hub community where you can take my relationship renewal course that teaches all the same things I teach my one-on-one clients at your own pace on your own time. Either way, get in the race. Let's get it.